Okay. Okay, welcome to Revival Education Series. I have Tracy Pitt on today, the infamous, everyone knows Tracy. And I met her through a women's networking group and fell in love with her and love what she's doing. She's bringing natural products into dental healthcare. So here's Tracy.
Hi, well, thank you so much, Kathy, for asking me to speak to your group today. I'm excited to be here and a little nervous. Okay. So basically, I'm a registered dental hygienist. I've been a dental hygienist since 1993, and I've been working for a dentist most of my career. And about, can you let the dog in, please? Sorry, guys.
Okay.
About 5 years ago, I decided that I wanted to go and become an independent dental hygienist, which we have been allowed to do since 2007, where dental hygienists can open their own clinics and provide the same care that you get at a typical dental office. And I wanted to do this really so that I could share my passion on natural products for the mouth. Basically, I've been using natural dental hygiene products for years, and I'm just a big believer in them. I guess how it all started for me was I received a book at Christmas that I wanted back in 1990 after seeing this lady on the Oprah Winfrey show. And it was called Don't Go to the Cosmetic Counter Without Me. And it was this big, huge book that listed every ingredient in every cosmetic, lotion, shampoo. And I just couldn't get enough of it. That was the first time I heard the word parabens. And I couldn't stop learning from that moment on. It just made me realize, well, how scary the community out there is that is pumping out all these products with all the chemicals in them, and how we're just, believe everything they say. Basically, the ads and commercials and everything that we are hurt. Sorry, my son is shooting guns at me. Everything that we see on TV, you just kind of believe it, and you don't even question it. Anyway, when I got this book, I realized that there are a lot of ingredients that I do not want in my body. The skin is the biggest organ on our human body, and what we absorb into that, is it's important. And I think that the next level, obviously, for me was learning about the natural oral hygiene products because of my career, my job, and it's your mouth. Like, we want to be putting safe products in our mouth, especially. So that's how I opened this little business of mine here in Waterdown, so I could just share what I believe in and let people know that they have a choice. And there's a lot of options out there that are wonderful and safe. And you don't have to get cavities if you're not using, a fluoride toothpaste. If you have like good oral hygiene skills and techniques and tools, you won't get cavities. If you're controlling your biofilm in your mouth, you won't need all the extra chemicals, basically. Does anybody have any questions about dental hygiene products?
So what kind of products do you find that the normal dentist, or not the normal dentist, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I guess the big one is fluoride, right? It's in all the toothpaste in the drugstores, and automatically for checkups on kids, dentists give fluoride treatments. And fluoride has been linked to all kinds of terrible things in the body. Cancer, it's been linked to, sorry, I'm just trying to refresh my page. It's been found in the brains of children who are developing. It's just a really toxic chemical, and it is toxic. And if you do ingest enough of it, it could be fatal. And to have this in a to have this in a toothpaste that we're putting in our mouth is just scary. It's just, and I think it's unnecessary.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to tell you guys a little story about, so my son, Jack, he has a terrible gag reflex. And so we've gone to the regular dentist for, obviously, since he was little, and Jack so they never totally cleaned his teeth. They weren't able to because he would start gagging and then they would just give up. They ended up starting to give him nitrous oxide to just try to clean his teeth. And so as funny as it was that he would come out super high, he basically I'm just drugging my kid and they're still not being successful. So when I met Tracy, I just kind of said, like, this is what's going on. This kid hasn't had his teeth cleaned properly ever, really. And Tracy's like, well, let's give it a try. And the other thing that happens with Jack at the regular dentist is when they do fluoride, he comes out barfing. Like it's made him super, super sick. And so of course, then it's even worse to go to the dentist, right? So we met Tracy and I said, well, let's give it a try. We have nothing to lose. And Tracy got through a whole cleaning with Jack, no problem. She took her time. She's an amazing professional and she's got the personality that I just love. So, and we don't need to give them fluoride. That's the thing, right? Like, yeah, we don't know any better. We trust these professionals and then they give us chemicals that are damaging our children. So that's why I was so thankful to meet you. And I know that you use some On Guard products. So
yes, I do.
Want to just, because we've been using that for years and I didn't know all the benefits that our toothpaste have. So maybe you could.
Oh, right. Yes. Well, one of the benefits, I guess the biggest one for me in the On Guard toothpaste is that it has something in it called calcium hydroxyapatite. And what that is it's actually what's in our teeth. So our teeth are made out of this calcium hydroxyapatite and it's in the toothpaste. And you find that not in very many toothpastes. And it acts as a remineralizer. So if your teeth are sensitive or if they're even slightly discolored, it actually helps to add the calcium back and create a more solid surface and tooth. It can even make your teeth look whiter because of the calcium that's added into the toothpaste. So that's my favorite thing about the On Guard toothpaste. Also, the cinnamon is antibacterial, the orange antibacterial. So there a lot of the whole On Guard is antibacterial, right? The whole essential oil has all the oils that we would need to fight the bacteria and the biofilm that is on our teeth. And the biofilm is basically that fuzzy feeling you get on your teeth that you can't brush off. That's what we take off. And one nice or different thing that I do that I don't think a lot of dentists are using right now is a procedure called airflow, which gently removes the biofilm without using like an abrasive pumice that they used to use, or like on a rubber cup, they would spin it around on your tooth. That actually, takes layers of your enamel off and creates more sensitivity. And it actually makes your teeth look yellower because the more you abrade the surface of the enamel, the closer you get to the dentin of the tooth, which is yellow. So you want to really be careful how they're cleaning your teeth. If they're using an abrasive, does it have fluoride? And I love the airflow because it's basically a warm water spray that sprays out water and an amino acid called glycine. And you can spray it right on the tongue, the soft tissues, and it takes all that biofilm off the tooth, the tongue, even the inside of the cheeks. It's gentle, it's amazing. Takes stain off, plaque off, and little bits of tartar if it's loose. So that's a new kind of procedure. It's really popular in Europe, and I'm really happy to have it here for my patients. Yeah.
Great. Wow.
The other really great thing is that so I have some areas that should be sensitive on my teeth. And so every time I go to see Tracy, she's like, are you sensitive here? Are you sensitive here? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. She's like, oh, that On Guard toothpaste somehow
It really does help.
is protecting.
Wow.
And I know before I started using it, my teeth were very sensitive to hot and cold. And I would just, it would be hurt, right? And I don't get that at all anymore. So.
And another nice thing about the On Guard toothpaste, because there's no fluoride in it and it is safe, you can spot treat your teeth with it. So often people have like, oh, just one area is sensitive, or they've worn off a little area of enamel down, on the lower right from scrubbing too hard. You can put a little bit of that On Guard toothpaste and rub it right onto the sensitive spot and go to bed and leave it like a night cream, and it just absorbs longer into the enamel, and you'll get more benefit out of it that way too. The longer it sits against the tooth or dentin, the better it is. And it's safe to do that because there isn't all that stuff, all the added chemicals, additives, preservatives, flavoring, sugars, dyes, like none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah, I was going to say, I have a quick question. So
Yeah.
my youngest daughter has very soft teeth, we've been told. She has had so many cavities, so many fillings. And one of the dentists actually said that it was her pH
Yes.
level in her mouth. So we needed a different toothpaste that would change the pH.
Right. So
what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So for pH balancing, I honestly don't know what the doTERRA pH level is. I guess I could test that because I have pH strips. So that would be a really good experiment. Maybe I'll do that and do a pH test strip. But the toothpaste that I use to level off people's pH, because pH acidity causes cavities, is this one. It's called Carry Zero.
Yeah, that's the one that he recommended to us.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So it comes in mint and bubblegum. They also have a remineralizing toothpaste. It's Canadian made. It's vegan, fluoride free. The nice thing about it is it's got 25% xylitol, and that's what you need. That's what studies have shown, the percentage of xylitol you need to actually, neutralize that pH and be effective against cavities. So that's what I recommend for my patients. There's no sodium lauryl sulfate in it, so it's not going to bubble or cause canker sores. It's a nice toothpaste. Yeah.
Thanks.
That's good. Anyone else have any questions?
My son left my door open. I got to shut my door.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Okay.
I wondered about hormone disruptors in.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I haven't done a lot of research myself on that, but in regular toothpaste, do you know anything about that?
I know a little bit about that for sure. So I know the parabens are hormone disruptors. They act similar to estrogen in the body. So you want to be careful, obviously with that, especially if you are someone who may be like a BRCA gene, like the breast cancer gene. You don't want to be having parabens in your toothpaste. Another, obviously the sodium lauryl sulfate is in lots of toothpaste. That's the bubbling action. And that has been linked to canker sores, skin irritations. What else has it been linked in? They've found it actually sodium lauryl sulfate. You find it in degreasers basically. So that's not something we really want to put in our mouth. I think the other one was carrageenan. It's also, it has been linked to cancer. It is considered to have no nutritional value. It's often in toothpaste, and it can cause ulcerative colitis, intestinal lesions, colon cancer. So you just want to really be careful about all the different chemicals that are in your toothpaste and choose one that is as clean as possible. If you look on the back of a toothpaste book container, all the different ingredients, it's incredible what they put in it. Actually, I don't even know what half of the stuff is.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce half of the stuff.
When you can't pronounce it, that's a bad sign.
It is a bad sign.
That's what I was about. All right. Well, this has been great. Does anyone else have any questions at all?
I was just going to ask, you mentioned wild orange and cinnamon as being like antibacterial and whatever.
Yes.
What do you use those for?
Well, those are in On Guard, that blend.
Oh, okay.
So that's just kind of what I was.
Okay, I just didn't know if you use them separately as like a mouthwash or something. I was like, ooh, tell me more.
Oh, right. No, I don't. Now I do use some different blends of essential oils as a gum massage, a serum, basically.
Okay.
And they do have, it's not from doTERRA, it's from a different company, Living Libations. They make a lot of different gum serums that are safe to rub right on the gum tissue, or even like use as an alternative to toothpaste. Sometimes I'll drop 1 drop of the gum serum on my toothbrush and do a dry brush with that and get the blood flowing around my gums. It's like a stimulating massage when you do a dry brush. That's one of my favorite things to do, actually, is dry brush my teeth.
Oh, interesting.
And as long as you're using an ultra soft toothbrush,
right.
It's perfectly fine to do, just like how we dry brush our skin. Dry brushing our teeth, the friction of the bristles against the teeth and the gums helps remove the plaque. So, and stimulate the gums. So I can go days without even using toothpaste and just do dry brushing and tongue scraping and flossing. As long as you're removing the bacteria and the biofilm, you don't need to put anything extra in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's really a mechanical action. So get yourself like a good tongue scraper. One of my favorite things is a copper tongue scraper. The copper will disrupt the bacteria colonies on the tongue. They don't like copper, and you can use it over and over again. It just literally shaves layers off your tongue.
Yeah.
If you don't scrape your tongue, it's kind of like having a shag carpet, never, ever vacuuming. Like, you really gotta get in there.
Yeah.
Where do you get those? Where do you get one of those, Tracy?
I actually sell these. So you can get them from me here in town, and I can drop them off at people's doorsteps. I do a lot of porch drop-offs of dental products around Waterdown. So yeah, those are great.
This is amazing to me, because for so many years, you don't even question the fact that you have to brush your teeth, which just drilled into you, right?
Yes.
Brush your teeth. And, you know, you just have the choices that are available to us at, you know, Shoppers or Walmart or wherever you go.
Right.
As I get older, my teeth are much more sensitive. So it's like, okay, now I need Sensodyne instead of Colgate. So I'm not even thinking that, you know, the dentist is giving me samples of things and telling me to use things that might not even really be good for me.
That's right. And they get those samples obviously given to them from the big pharmaceutical companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I
we never get samples of like the healthy products. There's never little samples. So it's hard. You really do have to just try to advocate and get out there and tell everybody about it. And I think the best thing to do if you are thinking about switching over to more healthy products, you know, once something runs out, your toothpaste, then, you know, pick up a natural toothpaste, try that. Even your floss, the floss that they give us in many of the dental office that I've worked at are like full of chemicals, full of those forever chemicals that are on the floss to make it slippery and slick. And it's just terrible that we're giving it by a professional. We believe them and trust them, and they're giving us stuff that's not good for us. There's healthier versions of all of it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It is crazy. It's too bad. It is a shame.
I mean, for my goal is to help people reduce their toxic load, and I'm learning right along with everybody. I might be just a little bit ahead, but you know, they're pushing the chemicals on us, and unless we educate ourselves, so that's why I decided to start this series because, and it's evolved because I realized that there's so many different ways to look after ourselves in a healthy way. And
Right.
I thought, you know what, why wouldn't I share this with everybody? This is good.
Yeah, it's so great. And less is more, you know, we're as consumers, we think when we're pushed upon all this stuff, and really I find the older I get, the more I realize I don't need hardly any of this stuff. Like I can even use olive oil on my face. Like, you know, we don't need to have all these products basically. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tracy. I
You're welcome.
really appreciate it. And I've asked you questions along the way the last few years that I've known you.
And if anybody ever has any dental questions or want to know about dental hygiene products, healthy products, feel free to text me, message me on Instagram or Facebook. I love sharing about dental hygiene products. It's my passion.
You should definitely follow Tracy because she does some great TikToks too.
Yeah, those are fun.
Okay, guys, I'm just going to stop the recording.
Thank you so